It was supposed to be a simple hiking trip through the rugged mountains of Ravenwood National Park. Three friends, Anya, Mark, and Jake, had been planning the excursion for weeks, eager to escape the city and immerse themselves in the untouched wilderness. Little did they know that the serene beauty of the forest would soon give way to a chilling horror that would test the very limits of their friendship. As they trekked deeper into the forest, the dense canopy shrouded them in a cloak of shadows, the only sound the crunch of their footsteps on the leaf-strewn trail. Anya, the group's fearless leader, forged ahead with unwavering determination, her sharp eyes scanning the undergrowth for any signs of wildlife. Mark, the joker of the group, regaled them with tales of legendary creatures that supposedly lurked in the woods, his voice laced with a hint of nervous excitement. Jake, the quietest of the trio, kept a watchful eye on their surroundings, his instincts on high alert. As night began to fall, they set up camp in a small clearing, the crackling fire casting eerie shadows on the ancient trees that surrounded them. The air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth, a primal reminder of the wilderness that enveloped them. As they settled down for the night, the sounds of the forest took on a sinister edge, the rustling of leaves and distant hoots of owls sending shivers down their spines. It was then that they heard a low, guttural growl that seemed to reverberate through the very heart of the forest. Anya's hand strayed to the hunting knife at her belt, her eyes darting into the darkness beyond the flickering firelight. Mark's laughter faltered, replaced by a nervous chuckle as he scanned the shadows for any movement. Jake's grip tightened on his walking stick, his gaze fixed on the underbrush that seemed to loom closer with every passing moment. And then, they saw a pair of glowing eyes peering out from the darkness, their malevolence sending a chill down their spines. The creature that emerged was like nothing they had ever seen before, a twisted hybrid of man and beast, its gnarled limbs ending in razor-sharp claws that glinted in the firelight. Anya's hand shook as she raised the knife, her voice steady despite the fear that threatened to consume her. "Stay back," she commanded, her eyes locked on the creature's feral gaze. "We don't want any trouble." But the creature only snarled, its twisted features contorting into a cruel smile that sent a cold shiver down their spines. And then, with a sudden burst of speed, it lunged forward, its claws slashing through the air towards them. Anya leapt aside, the blade of her knife flashing in the firelight as she struck out at the creature. Mark stumbled backwards, his panicked cries merging with Jake's fierce growls as they fought to defend themselves against the monstrous intruder. The battle raged on, a fierce dance of shadows and steel that seemed to blur the line between reality and nightmare. Blood mingled with the damp earth, the metallic tang of fear hanging heavy in the air as they fought for their lives against a foe that seemed to be born from the very depths of the forest itself. And then, with a final, desperate strike, Anya plunged the knife into the creature's heart, its unearthly cries echoing through the darkness as it collapsed to the forest floor. The three friends stood gasping for breath, their bodies trembling with adrenaline as they looked upon the monstrous form that now lay motionless at their feet. As dawn broke over the horizon, casting its gentle light upon the blood-stained clearing, they knew that their friendship had been tested in ways they could never have imagined. For in the heart of Ravenwood National Park, they had faced a horror beyond comprehension, a terror that would haunt their dreams for years to come, a mystery that would remain forever unsolved. And as they gathered their belongings and made their way back to civilization, they knew that they would never forget the horror that had befallen them on that fateful hiking trip.